Imagine sitting around a home fire, listening to a story of a clever hare outsmarting a fierce lion, or a humble child overcoming great challenges. For Shona people, these are not just tales, they are ngano, powerful stories passed from generation to generation, teaching life's important lessons. But why have these ancient stories remained so meaningful even today? So let's dive into the magic world of Ngano and discover why they are much more than just stories. Give you an example of Ngano, where a clever hare outsmarts a fierce lion. The clever hare and the fierce lion. Once upon a time, in the heart of a thick green forest, there lived a fierce lion named Shumba. Shumba was the king of the forest, and all the animals feared him because he was strong, fast, and loved to show off his power. Every morning, Shumba would roar so loudly that the ground would shake and the animals would tremble. One day, Shumba decided that he was tired of hunting. He wanted the animals to come to him instead. So he called a big meeting and announced, "From now on, one animal must come to my den every day for me to eat. If not, I'll hunt everyone down one by one." The animals were terrified. They had no choice but to agree to Shumba's demand. Now, among the animals was Tsuro, the hare, known for being small but very, very clever. Tsuro didn't like this new rule and knew he had to think of a plan to stop Shumba. When it was finally Tsuro's turn to visit Shumba's den, he took his time. Instead of going straight to the den, he hopped along slowly, stopping to look around as if he was thinking about something very important. By the time Tsuro reached Shumba's den, it was already late in the afternoon. Shumba was furious. "Tsuro," he roared, "why are you so late? I'm starving." Tsuro looked up at Shumba with big frightened eyes and said, "Oh, mighty Shumba, please forgive me. I was on my way to your den early this morning, but another lion stopped me." "Another lion?" Shumba growled, his eyes narrowing. "Who dares enter my forest and threaten my meal?" Tsuro nodded, trembling. "Yes, another lion. He was big and fierce, and he said he was the true king of the forest. I told him I was bringing you your meal, but he roared, 'I am the strongest lion. Shumba has no power here.' He even said you were too scared to face him." Shumba's anger exploded. "Take me to this lion. I'll show him who the true king is." Tsuro, trying not to smile, led Shumba to a deep well nearby. "It's down there inside that den," whispered Tsuro, pointing at the well. Shumba peered over the edge of the well and saw his own reflection in the water below. But Shumba, not realizing it was his reflection, thought it was the other lion. The lion in the water looked up at him, baring his teeth just as fierce as he was. With a mighty roar, Shumba leapt into the well, trying to attack the other lion. But instead of fighting a rival, he found himself splashing and sinking in the deep water. He tried to claw his way out, but the sides were too slippery. Tsuro, safe on the edge of the well, watched as Shumba struggled. He called down, "Goodbye, Shumba. Perhaps you learn that brains can beat strength after all." And with that, Tsuro hopped away, leaving the fierce lion trapped. From that day on, the animals lived in peace, free from Shumba's terror, all thanks to the clever little hare. So here we come to the end of this example of Engano. And what we have learned is that through this Ngano, people learned lessons about life. So what are the lessons we learn from this Ngano of Turo and Lion? So as we can see, this Ngano teaches us several important lessons. And the most important one is that brains are overgrown. Turo, the clever hare, shows us that intelligence and quick thinking can overcome strength and power. Instead of fighting Shumba directly, Turo uses his wits to outsmart him. And also we learn about the issue of pride, that pride can be dangerous. Shumba's pride and belief that he was invincible led to his downfall. His anger and arrogance made him act without thinking, and he ended up trapped. This reminds us that being too proud or boastful can lead to trouble. And also the other lesson we learn is that we learn that standing up for what is right is the right thing to do. So even though Turo was small and seemingly powerless, he took a stand to protect the other animals from Shumba's cruelty. This shows the importance of standing up for others and for what is right, even when it's difficult. And we also learn to think before you act. Shumba's quick, angry reaction caused him to leap into the well without a plan. This teaches that it's important to pause, think, and look carefully at situations before acting. And last but not least, we learn that small can be mighty. Turo's success reminds us that even the smallest or the weakest among us can make a big difference. Everyone has their own strengths, and sometimes the smallest person has the biggest impact. So these lessons, they encourage us to be clever, to be kind and thoughtful, rather than relying on strength or power alone. So I'm going to explain in a simple way what Ngano are among the Shona people of Zimbabwe. In Shona culture, Ngano are special stories or folk tales that have been told for a long time. Imagine sitting around a fire or gathering with your family and friends in the evening, listening to older people sharing amazing stories. That's what Ngano stories are like. They are a big part of Shona tradition. So I think the next thing you want to know is what Ngano stories are all about. Ngano stories are usually about animals, people, and sometimes magical creatures. For example, there might be a clever hare that tricks other animals, or a brave child who faces a challenge. Through these tales, people learn lessons about life, like the importance of kindness, honesty, bravery, and respect. So we want to know as well what Ngano meant in the ancient times, in the old times, of Shona traditions. So in ancient times, Ngano was like a way of teaching. Long ago, there were no schools like today, so people used stories to teach children what was right and wrong. These stories helped kids understand good behavior and the values of their community. Ngano also helped people feel closer as a group because they shared the same stories and lessons even as they got older. So Ngano story is still important today. Yes, a big yes. Ngano stories are still important Even though people have books, schools, and the internet now, these old stories still carry special wisdom and culture. Many parents and grandparents still tell ngano to their children. This way, kids can learn about their culture and remember the lessons that are part of their heritage. So, ngano isn't just about telling stories for fun. It's a way for the Shona people to remember their history, to learn important lessons, and pass on their values from one generation to the next. So even here, like on this channel, I'm sure you're also learning about Shona customs and traditions. And I also share ngano. It's just that we are using a modern way of retelling these stories, like using things like YouTube, like TikTok, but the stories and the lessons, they still remain. Hey everyone, if you enjoyed learning about Ngano, the incredible Shona folk tales full of wisdom and adventure, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more stories like this. Leave a comment and don't forget to share this video with friends and family to help keep the stories of Shona culture and Shona traditions alive. Let's keep the magic of Ngano alive together.